Hey troops, it is GeneralJSmith here, back with another LEGO Star Wars classic review. Today we have Anakin's Jedi Starfighter from 2008, set number 7669, contains 153 pieces, was ages 7 to 12 and cost £20 or $20 when it was new back in 2008, as I said. So yeah, I mean, if you watch my channel, if you watch my updates and things, then you'll know that I've been saying I'm going to do a Starfighter for quite some time. I think like before February I've been saying I'm going to do this. But finally I'm getting around to it, you know, better late than never I suppose. I've built it all back again because it was all broken out, but this is all by the by. The set itself, the set itself isn't particularly special, to be honest with you guys. I mean, if you don't have this set, then I definitely would not recommend getting it, because really there are better things you can spend your money on. I mean, unless you want to get like every set ever, then maybe, but also if you have it, I suppose I wouldn't really recommend selling it, because, you know, it's likely that the one you got looked quite old, and even if you got it new in the box, you probably won't get much money for it in mint condition, because it's just not that sort of set. There's really nothing amazingly special about the set at all. It only came with 2 figures, and both of which have now been, you know, replaced by much better ones. So, I mean, there's really no reason to get this set. I just had this set, I sort of had it. So, I'm just reviewing it now, but other than that, there's really no reason. Now, this came out in 2008, which was the beginning of the Clone Wars sets in LEGO. I believe, like, the Clone Wars movie came in 2008, so that's kind of cool, you know, that was the year we finally started the Clone Wars sets, and we've had a Clone Wars set every year since, actually. I mean, now that the Clone Wars has ended, which is very sad, you know, we may not be seeing as many Clone Wars sets anymore, which is very disappointing, but, you know, what are you going to do? But this is one of those sets that sort of started off, but even back then, these figures that came in the set weren't even particularly special. For example, R2 is the most common figure of all time. He comes in the most sets, even more than battle droids, even more than anything else. And Anakin, you can get him in many other sets you probably also have. You can get the Turn 8 AT-TE or Public Gunship, or just, you know. So really, there's nothing massively special about this set. I mean, but even back then, it wasn't massively special. You really, I really wouldn't recommend it now. Not that it's a bad set, I just not really. But anyway, let's get actually on to the figures. We have Anakin Skywalker, because obviously it's his Starfighter. This is the Clone Wars Anakin Starfighter, the very first Clone Wars one we got. I have showed him a bunch of times. There's really nothing more to go on about him. Just the Clone Wars sort of thing. He's definitely not my favourite Anakin Skywalker. In fact, he's probably one of my least favourite. Really. He's like the one I will never use. You know, if I want to use Anakin Skywalker and something, I will use the more realistic one. But this is just him. Yeah, he's just got his lightsaber, stuff like that. We did get another version of Anakin, like another Clone Wars version later on, and that's just comparing them. Yeah, but they're the same one, same hair colour. We get this hair a lot with Anakin's, but it's slightly darker than those ones. Don't really have one to compare them, but there you go. That's just Anakin. No leg printing, no back printing, just no back face printing. And he just goes in his Starfighter in that cockpit over there, which I'll show you in the minute. And then on the next figure, the last figure, we have R2, the very first variant of R2. I actually looked on the instructions and apparently did say this particular R2 came with it. I thought that this R2 came with the set. I thought this R2 came on Turn 8 with, you know, a bunch of sets. That's when it was introduced. But apparently it does come with this R2 variant, the very first one ever. But no, we do get this one. So these are the really, really, really old ones. I mean, since then, in 2014, we're getting this one. You know, the really new one, the really awesome new one. So even this one you don't need anymore. So really there's nothing to say about him. I mean, you know, the major difference, the fact his printing only goes around the sort of top of the dome. You can see, you know, he's had quite a lot of wear and tear over the years. But that's basically it for him. He's just R2. Really, nothing more to say about him. I guess let's get on to the set. Yeah, alright then. Nothing really to say, just let's get on to it. Is it worth £20, I will say. 153 pieces. Yeah, at the time, yeah, it was good value, I suppose, of 20 quid. We call it 15, but, you know, I could see it's a £20 set. Now, definitely do, well, I suppose I would not recommend it. I mean, if you had it in mint condition, like the box and everything, then maybe you could get a bit more than what you paid for it if you sell on eBay or something now. Like, maybe you could get £35 or whatever. I don't really know at all, I haven't checked, but I mean, you might, if it's a mint condition, because it's a quite old set, but it's not like, it's definitely not one that people are going to massively want to buy. You can't really use it, it's just not very, but anyway, there aren't actually many features to this set. In fact, there's barely any. Well, let's just start off with the first feature, the fact that they do have flick-fire missiles, which do fire as flick-fire missiles do. Yeah, really nothing. I don't really count this as a feature just because every other set has this, so, you know, it's not really a feature at all. But if you don't know how they go, there you go. And, yeah, obviously you get 2 of them. There you go, it's been replaced by those new missiles now. By the way, my last video was comparing all the different types of Lego missiles, so please go check that out. Really, there's nothing to say about them. Just flick-fire missiles. Also has landing gear, that's cool. Retractable landing gear. Also on both wings there. And what you simply do if you want him to fly, you put these legs up, and like so, and then you simply fold that leg up like so, and there you go, and he flies along. And obviously if you want to land, you simply put these legs down. Hang on. Okay. And there you go. Just a little thing I want to point out. If you can notice, this is vertical, right? This leg isn't actually completely, like, straight with these legs. Like, if you put it in this position, then if you put it down, see the front, I mean, well, it's not entirely level here, but if you put it down, the front is a tiny bit higher than the back. You know, if you just notice that. If you can put it in the next position down, like so, but then the nose is very slightly, you know, lower. It can't be on the same level because the piece where it's attached, if I take this off, okay, this piece, you know, is the same one on each hinge, but that, you know, if you go along, it's slightly sort of lower or higher or something. I forgot, but then, you know, there's other pieces. So, that's just a little thing I want to point out. Just a cool little thing. And that's maybe... No, never mind. So I was just sort of checking something. Anyway, so there you go, as a track landing gear. There was another feature. Oh yeah. And then the main feature, I think, is the fact... You see there, we have R2, and he has an ejector seat, apparently. This is the reason that the review took so long to be uploaded, or, you know, made, because it took me forever to make this bottom bit. This bit isn't just for show, it's actually a mechanism to try and make R2 have an ejector seat. What you do is the following. You simply lie him in there, you know, just whatever. And then, see there's a thing at the back here. Okay, what you do, you push on it, you can see that thing going down, you see? Obviously the other way around, if you push on it, you've got to push it quite high if you want to jump. Oh, and there you go. Not exactly the highest jump in the world. Oh, didn't even jump there at all. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the best system. But whatever, I suppose it is an ejector seat. The problem I've got with it, the major problem I've got with it is the fact that you can't stick him down there. You just see, he's held in by these two sort of pieces. Can't really see them, can you? But you see those pieces there? You basically stick him on like that. And he just sits on there. For example, if you turn it upside down, Yeah, like so. You know, he doesn't stay in place, which is a major problem for me. I hate the fact you can't really turn him upside down or wibble it about, because, you know, he's not holding by any studs or anything. By the way, I should probably point out that these particular pieces I'm pointing to, the ones that he sits on, right? Those grey bits, they're actually meant to be orange, but I couldn't find them in orange. You have to remember, guys, that these sets that I review, these are old sets which have been broken up for many years, and I have to try and rebuild them. Basically nothing, just instructions. So, I think, I mean, even like a small set like this takes quite a while when you've got, you know, it's muddled up with a bunch of other massive sets. So, yeah. But anyway, so there you go. And that's my biggest problem with the set, is the fact that he doesn't, like, stay in. He's not attached to anything. No studs or no... There's nothing, really. That's my biggest problem. It really annoys me. I really wish they could... I mean, on the bright side, though, since that point, since 2008, they have done other things. Like, for example, in the Naboo Starfighter, which I've also reviewed from 2011, they had it so you could have ejector seat by pushing the thing up. However, it was also so that, you know, it didn't get in the way. I can't explain it to you. You have to watch my review. But it just sort of worked. The rest of the ship, these are the two guns, the little gun things. They're cool. This Republic symbol. Not a sticker, by the way, it's a printed brick, so that's cool. These are stickers. These are kind of cool stickers, I've got to say. I do like these stickers. Some of these pieces are actually quite rare in this yellow colour. For example, this circle piece behind that are quite rare in this sort of yellow shade. So, yeah. Also back here. You know, also this fin piece, I like this. I don't actually know the purpose of this. Like in the actual vehicle, I don't know really what this is meant to do. But really it does something. It's not like a rudder or anything because it doesn't move, and it, you know, would be a bit useless in air anyway. But I mean, sorry, a bit useless in space anyway. But you know, you get the point. These stickers are kind of cool in my personal opinion as well. It simply attaches on that hook there. Like so, and yeah, it's got very limited move. It's not meant to move at all. Just sort of does. These are the engines back here. Some cool pieces. Sort of use. Not really anything to say more about the set. I mean, let's go look in the cockpit. Now, a major problem as well. The other problem I have with the set is the fact that this does not flip up. I mean, pretty much in what, like, most sets, you know, we have that, you know, the cockpit flips up, obviously, you know, just sort of flips up like that, or maybe like that. It does not on this set. You have to remove it. I suppose it's not an issue, you know, but, I mean, I don't know, if you want to do something. On the inside here, we have a printed brick, which is cool, but we've seen this quite a few times before, so... there are studs in there. By the way, there's nowhere to put Anakin's lightsaber. Just trying to do this one-handed. There's nowhere to put his lightsaber. You just have to sort of, you know, take it off. I can put him down. Okay. I'm just trying to... Where's the lid gone? Lid. Oh, there it is. And there he is. By the way, a little thing, there's been comments, if you remember, that, like, every Jedi has a version of this, you know, because it is Anakin's Jedi Starfighter. Every single Jedi has a different version, you know, a blue, a white, you know, depending on what Jedi they are. For example, Mace Windu's is white, Plo Koon's is blue. Obi-Wan has a red one, and in Episode 2, we saw it, and the astromech, I think his name was R4 or something, was in this, like, in the, what's it called? Wing, just like you have in the new Interceptor. However, in this one, in the new ones, you have them right in the middle. The reason for this, well, I mean, well, it's not really a reason as such, but I mean, like, maybe people have said, in fact, my dad also said, you know, it's a bit difficult for him to see over. You see, I just try and put him down. He's not staying down. Okay. It's a bit difficult for Anakin to see over the astromech's head. Apparently, to solve this, the Jedi sort of use the Force. Now, it doesn't explain why he's there, why you didn't just keep him there, and what's the point in him. But whatever. That's just the reason why it sort of changed, you know, between Obi-Wan's who had him on the wing and the rest of them who have there. Also, by the way, this is the first of the sort of Starfighter, Jedi Starfighter range. We had this one in 2008. In 2009, we got Ahsoka's, which was, I don't know, sort of red, green or something. 2010 we got Plo Koons, which is blue. 2011 I think we got Mace Windu's, which was white. And then in 2012 we got the green one, which belonged to Sacy Tin or something. And we haven't had any since then. Just because. So. And yeah, that's really it. So that's just a little thing there. By the way, these were the early versions of the Jedi Starfighters. These were the later versions. This is the 2014 one we've seen. We saw these pretty much completely used by the Jedi at the beginning of the Clone Wars, and near the end of the Clone Wars, for example, Season 5, we saw these being used by the Jedi. Clearly, yellow is Anakin's colour. He likes the colour yellow, apparently, for whatever reason. Don't know why each colour has, why each Jedi has a specific colour, but they do. And this is the new one, compared to the old Anakin Starfighter. This is just the one he uses when this one crashes. Also, I don't know what happens to this one. He just doesn't use it anymore. And there you go. Just thought I'd compare that. But that is pretty much it to this set. I don't have any other Jedi Starfighters. It's the only one I have. You know, in fact, but there are many I would like to get. For example, Plo Koons and Mace Windu's look really cool. But over the years they have improved the design, changed things up, you know, make the ejector seat different, you know, just a bunch of things. But that's basically a review on it. I guess I'll get into the instruction manual. Okay. It's not particularly heavy. Well, it is kind of heavy actually. You know, for the size of the set, it is kind of heavy actually, which surprises me. Heavier than you think for a set that size. Instruction manual is very thin. Nothing really to say about it. Got the Star Wars thing at the top there. Kind of reminds me of the new 2014 one, because, you know, Darth Vader and everything. Got Anakin. Clone Wars. Lego Star Wars. Nothing really to say, etc. In the back, we got the Lego Club stuff. These Lego shop. Oh, online. Well, obviously. How could you ever have a Lego shop bigger than an online Lego shop? Logically. Because, you know. Anyway. These are the sets that came out in turn 8. I think this was, I'm not sure the winter or summer line. We've got the battle packs here. I have got that one. I do not have that one. I really want that one. That looks really good. In the way that it's a really good army build. I mean, the figures aren't the best. Like, we've had a new version of Stormtroopers now, but you know, the fact that it's such a cool army builder, that looks really good. That looks really cool. They've never made a remake of this. I really want this. You know, that's a really cool set. Don't have that. I have the new one. I think the new one's considerably better. However, I think I'm going to get this one on eBay anyway. And this, I'm interested by this. It was the only one based off the game. And yeah, I don't know. I want to point out that, you know, that thing there. That's like a unique colour for that particular piece. All other of those sort of launcher things have been just the other colour. This one's red, has a red thing as opposed to grey. So yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure if you don't get any idea what I'm talking about, but that launcher thing. All right, so the features: he jumps up apparently, fake fire missiles. Apparently, you can remove the cockpit. It's not really a feature if you can just, you know, you have to remove it. And obviously, what? Okay, they're the same feature. So, yeah. And there you go, really. That's it. So that's basically it to the review. My thoughts on it, really. I've always sort of given my thoughts, but, you know, I'll just give my absolute conclusion thoughts. It is, at the time, right, if you were back in 2008, if you have a time machine and whatever, and go at 2008, I suppose it's not a bad set to pick up. If you've got the money, if you've got all the other really good sets from that year, you know, and you don't really know what else to spend your money on, you know, you're just gonna, I don't know, waste it, or whatever, then yeah, why not? You might as well pick it up. It's not a particularly bad set, don't get me wrong, it's pretty average for the time. Now, definitely do not pick it up if you do not have it. If you do have it, then don't, you know, just leave it. Really, it's nothing particularly special. You know, if you really wanted them, obviously by all means get it. But I can't really see the average person, you know, if you want to go get something on eBay, if you want to get a good set, don't get this. It's not bad, it's just nowhere near the best. It's definitely not one of the ones you should go on eBay to find. It's not even the best, like Jedi Starfighter, in my opinion, just for, you know, for colours and just everything, so. But whatever, you know, you can do what you like, really. I definitely would not recommend getting it now. Even if it was below retail value, I still wouldn't recommend getting it just because, why, really, is my question. But that's by the by. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like down below because it would greatly encourage me. Also, please, if you have any feedback, please leave down in the comments any other classic reviews you want me to do. If I have the set and I have not already reviewed it, then I will try to review it. Bear in mind, most of the sets you're probably going to ask me are probably broken up if I have them. So it may take a long time for me to do it, but don't you worry, I will take your opinion into consideration. But you can, not just that, you can ask me any questions down in the comments, you know, I'll try to answer them to my best of my ability. And yeah, really. But that's more or less it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as always. And I will see you in my next video. Don't know what that'll be. I'm sort of running out of classic reviews very quickly, but, you know, we'll see. But I'll see you then. GeneralJSmith, out.